Yo, what's up, ComPODres? Welcome back to another episode. It's your host with the most from the West Coast, SB Press, reporting live from Mastermind Media. Always to my right, Ilsa himself.
Yep.
And also to my right, Joe Rosati himself.
What's happening?
And man, we got the man himself in the house.
Do.
The icon. And we definitely got a lot of treats for y'all. We going over cereal. We going over the cartoons, but we're mainly going over the life story of Mr. T. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all ready for this action-packed episode. And like that, ComPODres, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits. Yeah, gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah, better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits.
Without further ado, we have a living icon. Legend, that's low tier. He's an icon. He's been around since and before you've been around. And I just got to say, man, I get the blessing of seeing him. You guys are going to get blessed with hearing and feeling what he has to say. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. T, please.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank
you.
We
Thank
appreciate you taking the time.
No, I want to say in my humblest way, I am honored with that introduction, Preston, but truthfully, I'm not all that. I'm just a humble, old-fashioned mama's boy from the South Side Chicago, welfare recipient who had a dream, who loved his mother. You know, I am honored that people think a lot of me, but my mother taught me in being a Christian, you want to stay humble. So and people ask me sometimes, Mr. T, with everything you have achieved in this business, how you stay level-headed? Because I've seen guys come and go in the same week. I've been here by the grace of God 40-something years. This year, 2003, is 40 years for the A-Team. Last year, 2022, was 40 years for Rocky 3. Right. To be here this long, and then when people at the beginning, when people said you won't last, you got lucky and all that stuff, luck has nothing to do with it. I'm a child of God. I believe in God. I try to live right, treat people right, do the right things. I never robbed nobody. I never nobody. I never broke in nobody's house. I stole some candy bars when I was younger, and I asked God to forgive me. You know, I went back to the store and told the guy, I said, I stole when I was younger. Forgive me. You know, I made amends because that's not my character. My mother didn't teach me to steal. She said, son, if you want something, work hard, save your money and get it. Right. Just that simple. So that's who I am. I am honored to be in the business, but I don't want to forget where I come from. You know, as much as people show me adulation, all that, I can't wait to get back home and take a shower and wash all the adulation off and get on my knees and say, thank you, God. And then maybe Friday morning, go down to the mission, take food and clothes. Just humility, humbleness. That's who I am. So I don't want to forget, there's this poem that goes, if I can walk with kings and queens and yet not lose that common touch, then you'll be a man, my son. So I'm honored that you show me adulation, all that. But I never want to forget. I never want to come in puffed up, you know, here, talk to my entourage, here, this and that. That's why when you see me, I'm in my workout stuff. I'm working out, this and that. Not all that.
Workout warrior, y'all.
Not all that stuff.
Right.
You know, I want people to be able to come by, say, Mr. T, I watched you when I was younger. I grew up, you came to my school. I want them to approach me. I want them to tell me, say, Mr. T, I bought you a toy. I don't want them to have to want to see me, but got to get past my entourage. No, you can come touch me. I want to bless you. I want to pray for you. You know, that's who I am. So I hope for that night, and let me start. Let me say a little prayer to open it up and, you know, ask God to give us the grace.
Absolutely.
Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this opportunity. Lord, we know somebody is out there is going through something. Lord, I pray that something is said tonight that gives someone hope, that give him inspiration, that gives them motivation to keep going on. Someone is about to give up. Lord, touch their heart, touch their soul, give them the strength to keep going. In your holy name, Jesus, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. Amen.
Yes.
Yeah, man. That was great, man.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I hope y'all ready.
I don't think we ever had an introduction like that. Right?
That's the best.
That was mind blowing right there. I'll put your feelings in touch real quick.
Right. I think we should go ahead and get our segment out of the way, and then we'll get back into this because this is going to be a great episode, everybody.
I hope y'all ready.
Yeah, you ready to have a little fun here, Mr. T?
Oh yeah, I like fun. I like fun. Hey, I pity the fools who don't like fun. I like fun. Yes.
So we have a segment we call Let It Fly.
Okay.
We're pretty much going to throw images up on the screen behind us.
Okay.
No peeking when they come.
Okay.
Go ahead and give us a countdown.
So when the images come out, should look over there.
Yep, look.
And all right, just keep looking down.
He's going to count us down, and then you look at it, and then first thing that comes to mind.
Okay, all right.
I'll speak a little bit, and then just pass it down.
Okay. So start with you and go all the way around.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we got Yuli behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen. So
Yuli.
let's start.
3, 2, 1.
All right.
Let's go. We can look now.
Roddy Piper, the most awesomest wrestler there is. You know, he's the dirtiest, meanest, toughest. He's a true competitor.
Right.
He's gonna bring it. Yeah. You know, he's all bad because he's like Ali and Frazier. You know, you got to have a good guy and a bad guy. Nobody is better than Roddy. He's good. I mean, he's so bad, he's good. That's how bad he is, you know. Yes.
Legendary.
Hands down, this was by far one of my favorite opponents of yours. He definitely he got you, but you got him back more than he got you. Let's just go ahead and say that, man. So it was a blessing, you know, to watch this incredible person go against this even more incredible person before us today. Again, I know you said about the accolades,
Right.
but for sure, as a child,
It's all right. It's all right. No, it's all right. Even though I said I don't want to stop you from doing you be you. You know,
right, that's
I don't
right.
want you to hold back. You know, but we're gonna be all right.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
we're gonna be all right.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
What you got, Lance?
I'll say this. I just heard a interview lately of Edge, the wrestler right now, and he talked about how influential your main event was in WrestleMania 1, right? You remember doing that? So am I speaking wrong?
No, you speaking right.
Okay, gotcha.
And let me make a point. See, when I came in, at first some of the wrestlers was a little jealous.
Yeah.
Number one, they didn't know I could bring it. I was a wrestling champ in the city of Chicago 2 years in a row. I knew how to wrestle legitimate, all that stuff. But they didn't realize the business of wrestling. Vince McMahon brought me in to elevate wrestling. You know, those guys, you know, sure, they've been around the circuit. They had it hard or whatnot. I'm bringing light to wrestling. They didn't see that. So they was a little jealous at first, you know. And then they thought that me coming in that I couldn't hold my own, you know. Yeah. Then they found out, you know. But,
real quick.
You know, you know.
Well, you won the tag team championship in WrestleMania 1, is that correct?
Yeah, me and Hulk Hogan.
That's right. That's right.
He was the main event. Yes,
Man, I watched that on tape.
I mean, I'll never forget that.
Yes.
My grandfather had that on tape because I wasn't born when it happened.
Right.
You know, I was born 3 years after, but I was able to relive that moment on cassette tape, you know, for the old heads out there.
Oh, I just missed that time.
Yeah.
I missed that time because the wrestlers, they were such great characters and great athletes, and now it's, you know,
Yeah,
it's
it ain't
a little
the same.
bit.
It ain't
It's
the
not the
same.
same.
It ain't the
It's not
same.
What we got next, Julie?
3, 2, 1.
Oh man, y'all blowing my mind. This is how can I say this here? It's a blessing.
Right.
First, not the ego thing. Here, the fact that Quaker Oats, we used to eat oatmeal. We used to eat oatmeal in the morning, beans in the evening. That's what kept us together. But now Quaker Oats, they see me, they make a cereal of me, little T's in the thing. But I didn't ego trip. What I did, I said, Quaker Oats, could you give me thousands of boxes to take it to the people in the
Listen
ghetto?
to that. Listen to
To
that.
feed the people.
Wow.
To feed the people. That's what it meant to me.
I hear you.
You know, so I am honored besides to say, hey, look at me, I'm this and that, you know.
Right.
Don't get caught up. I said, thank you, God. Let me feed somebody. My prayer always, I said, Lord, bless me so I could be a blessing to others. That's who I am. That's who I am.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing,
That's
man.
who I am.
Yep, I also came across the backstory, so that was the reason why I selected that one. But it was just so meaningful for him to take what they were making for him and just to give back to you know
Right.
more other people less fortunate. So, man, that right there means a lot to me as well.
Thank you.
I'll say I got this hat on and where you're from. You know, I'm from Michigan.
Oh,
so
right.
I know you're from Chicago.
Right,
I wear
right.
Bulls hats. and that.
Right.
And as a kid, I remember, you know, those were a commodity, man. This was something that, you know, you had to have.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're collectibles now. So
Right. And then also there used to be little prizes in them. There used to be little stickers. Yes.
like the Cracker Jack.
Exactly.
Yes.
Man,
Trust me, I grew up on them.
I mean, when I look at that after everybody's taught, because I don't want to, like, you know, keep on being redundant, but when I look at that, I mean, I remember because my mom would give it, but when I look at it now, the ingredients, how that was made now, and then what they put in cereals now, forget about it.
No.
It's so crazy to me.
Yes.
much
It
sugar.
is so.
Yes,
So there was. I mean,
yes.
we used real product. I mean,
Yes.
there was no artificial flavors and all.
Great point,
And
man.
you know, I just it's crazy.
Very true.
Mo GMOs.
Yeah. Well, hey, we that's a whole different discussion.
Yeah, but I mean, you know,
Hey, man, this is so cool, man. Where we at, Yuli?
This one. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, all right, hold on. Before you get there, let me preface this with this. Where were you at, and what were you thinking in this photo? Do you remember this? I know you.
This is the episode of the A-Team. It is coming to me. I think I got a walkie-talkie in my hand. But right there, what you see all that around, 40 pounds of gold. Real solid gold.
you still have all that?
No. I'm gonna get to that story.
Yeah. I was gonna.
And if you know, you can probably see part of it. I had to symbolize of 3 different religions, so you can see part of the Star of David.
Yep.
Right.
I use sometimes you can see with the Jesus thing. Then one time you can see with the crescent and the Muslim thing up under the cross around my neck.
Yeah.
So that I would emphasize that about God and stuff like that, you know. So that's who I am. Now, message. I'm gonna get to the message about why I wore the gold and why I stopped wearing the gold. We'll get into that later.
Sounds
yes.
good.
Yes.
So how long did it take you to put all that on?
About an hour. I would start off.
Well, someone would do it for you.
No.
You do it
every
all.
morning. I would.
that's him.
My brother was carrying my stuff in the construction bag for me. Then I set it out. You know. Then I put the smallest one on first, the little ones on, then the big ones on, then do all of that. Then some of them I could just throw around my neck. Some of them I had to fasten. Then I put my rings on and other stuff or whatnot. Then I had to prop myself up. I used to get a massage 3 times a week and chiropractor twice a week. Adjust my back and my neck. That stuff was real. It was real and it was heavy, you know.
Yeah, no, I always thought it was real because of the
Yes.
time period. First of
Yes,
all, you know,
yes,
and
back
I
in the
mean,
day,
back in the day, no one wore anything fake.
No.
And it was-
Man. All I can say is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper got that image from this right here. This is where it started off at.
Oh, yeah.
So
Started
pay
here.
your homage, give your respect.
Yes.
Because, man, not a lot of people understand where the look of all these chains and stuff came from. You know, so thank you for that. Thank you.
Definitely.
A matter of fact, maybe I should do that right now. Break it down about the gold, where it comes from, and why I wear it, whatnot. So I give you everything. You know, everything I did, that was for a reason. The hairstyle and everything else. The hairstyle is not punk rock. It's not Mohegan Indian. And I don't want to be disrespectful to the Mohegan Indians.
Right.
But there's a tribe in Africa, in the country of Mali. They are called the Dinkas, or some people call them the Mandinkas, and they wear their hair that way.
Right.
And I will wear 7 earrings. And being a Christian, I will wear 3 in my right ear and 4 in my left ear. The 3 was symbolic of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. The 3 wise men, the 3 Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. 3 parts of the day, morning, noon, and night. The 3 graces, faith, hope, and love. The 3 civil rights workers, Cheney, Goodman, and Swerner. Then I wear 4 in my left ear. The 4 was symbolic of the 4 seasons, spring, winter, summer, and fall. The 4 directions, north, east, south, and west. The 4 gospel writers, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You put the 3 and 4 together, it was 7. It was 7 times that Joshua marched around the walls of Jericho. Samson had 7 locks of hair. There are 7 colors in the rainbow. There are 7 notes in in the musical bars. God made heaven and earth in 6 days. He rested on the seventh. I am the seventh son. The gold, I wore the gold for 3 reasons. One, when Jesus was born, 3 wise men came from the east. One brought frankincense, one brought gold, other one brought myrrh. So gold was a gift to Jesus. And I said, if it's good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for me. But also I set people up when I say that. I say, if we follow in Jesus, we got to follow Jesus all the way, because Jesus forgave. He forgave, so we got to forgive. Then the second reason I wear gold, I can afford it. And I would tell people, back in the hood, back in the 80s, I said, it's stupid for you to go buy gold and your kids don't have no new shoes. It's stupid for you to buy gold and your rent is due. It's stupid for you to buy gold, you don't have food in your house. That's stupidity. The third reason I wore the gold, it was symbolic of my African heritage. When our ancestors was brought from Africa, we were shackled by our neck, our wrists, and our ankles in steel chains. I've turned those steel chains to gold to symbolize the fact that we are still a slave, only my price tag is higher. Whereas they used to buy and sell our 4 pounds on the slavery blocks for $50 and $75, you know, and send them certain places. And now they're buying and selling, you know, mega athletes for millions of dollars. We getting millions of dollars, but we don't own nothing. And I told the brothers, I said, why you dealing drugs or whatnot? You don't own the poppy fields. You don't own the cocaine places. You don't own nothing. You know, you shooting a basketball, you making the hoop. You don't own no team. So we're slaves. We just high-priced slaves. That's what the gold represent. And let me tell you, when I stopped wearing the gold, as a Christian, when Katrina hit, you know, New Orleans and all the stuff, and the people lost everything and all that, I said it would be a sin against God for me to wear all that gold and the people lost everything. It would be wrong for me. Look at me, I got gold, people dying. I still have visions of people floating in the water. I remember when the police stood at the bridge and wouldn't let the people come across the bridge because the house was flooded over there and whatnot. I remember all of that. I got relatives in New Orleans and stuff, you know. And I remember and seeing the people hurt. Then in my church in Chicago, we brought in a lot of people and whatnot. And my mother had told me, don't grandstand, but I'm supporting that people know. A lot of my gold I gave up. I said, buy things with the gold. The gold is not important. It never was important like that. I wore the gold to make a statement. You know, the gold is in my heart because I'm a feed people. You know, I'm compassionate. I'm considerate. So that's what I did. The gold, I stopped wearing the gold, you know, when Katrina hit. So when you see me stuff like the gold there, that's not my gold on the thing. That's the producer's gold. They bring the gold for the simile thing, you know. But I said I would never wear my gold again. And most of the gold I done gave away anyway, you know. So that's the story behind the gold.
Wow, what a message that was.
All I got to say is bars, right?
Message.
I mean, original rapper, right?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Soliloquy, the you know, tempo, everything.
Just how it just flows. And this is all
so
facts
well
and
said,
truth.
man.
It comes from the heart.
Awesome, man.
I don't know. What do we do?
Let's roll the next one.
That was powerful.
I'm gonna bring it. I told you I'm gonna bring it. See, that's what the T stand for temperature. I bring the heat, baby. I bring the heat. Yeah, I'm laying something on the people. They're gonna be saying, "Wow, what did I hear today, Mr. T? Man, that was like a whirlwind. Man, let me replay that, man." Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about, bro.
Yes. This man is on fire.
Yes, yes.
All right, big dog, Yuli.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. The van.
Do you know who has this van?
No, let me explain. There's been so many vans that was made. One of the original van they gave to me, I gave it to the Boys and Girls Club in Chicago many years ago. Then they had a special made van, another one made for me, had tandem wheels in the back, and we was go around show plays and whatnot. But when we were driving down the expressways, we couldn't get nowhere. We stopped in traffic and whatnot, and it was just wild. So I just say, yeah, it was just too much. Police genocide, it was just too much. It was wild, you know. It was fun and all that, you know, but you know, it served a purpose. There was nothing like the van, and you know, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, man.
The greatest van I know. The greatest van, and one of the reasons why my grandfather actually owned a van as well. It wasn't as sharp as this, but it was the same make, just a different color and shape. And the Mr. Machine ain't got nothing on this.
Yeah, not even close.
So iconic. I mean, you know, definitely, and especially in the '80s, you know, minivans and these vans, the diesel, and they said, like you said, he had the dualies on the back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I grew up on that.
Yeah, and I did too. And I think the great thought for me is we didn't see a lot of them.
Right.
Because they wouldn't make them.
Right.
They had contracts then that were totally different.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
And that's what I love about that. You never saw anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I had that toy when I was a kid.
Oh, me too.
I wish I would have kept it, but whatever. Who knows where it is now?
Who knows where it's
As long as someone's enjoying it.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I think we got one more.
Yeah.
One more, and then we'll get back into it.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Writer's strike. Writer's strike.
This is relevant. Good right now.
Yes.
What do you got to say?
Because this affects everybody one way or another. You know, it might not affect you directly, but it's going to affect you indirectly. It might not affect you today, but slowly down, it's a trickle down effect. It's going to affect you. It's sort of like they used to say, what affects one directly, that's what's happening. It's affecting all slowly. You know, we say, that don't bother me, and after a while it will. Okay, this stuff is hitting this person, or it's stopping this person, the cleaners, the grocery store, the other stuff, the rentals, you know, and that's what's happening, you know. And so, but in life, I want to say this here, it's always a struggle. You got to fight for your right. A couple of weeks ago, the teachers, some of the teachers had a strike, not paying the teachers. Then you find out the workers that the teachers' aides, they wasn't paying no money to. I said, wow, they treating them like dirt and whatnot. Then they got to care for the students. I said, Lord, pay them people. Now you hear the stories about the writers. Okay, with the stuff with all of the streaming stuff, people making money and they not, and the executives getting the money and not. So wow. That's what it is. You got to fight. You know. So,
right.
And you know, major respect to all these people, because some of these writers are some of the people that write the arithmetic for the students. You know, so that's hurting the future, which is the kids are the future.
Right.
Then that's who's really hurting. So yeah, hopefully, you know, there's some common ground and some due diligence, because you know this just isn't right, especially after the last one we just had.
Yeah, well said, man. Both of you guys. All I say is that, you know, now you have actors that are writers that are starting to comment on this. Yeah. So it's going to turn into something, you know, and then, like, you know, I'm going to leave something for Joe, but, you know, like the actors thing is coming down the road too here, where they're going to start. So where's TV going to be at?
Well, you know, I mean, I'm a blessed person, and, you know, I've tried to work my acting career, and I'm at, you know, we have a very successful icon here. And
Absolutely.
Like, it's just crazy to me. Every time I start getting moving again, there's a strike that comes, and then but it doesn't matter about me, because I can survive on another job. But when we talk about grips, caterers, I can go down the list. Those are the ones that really get hurt.
Yes.
You know, and they can't ever come to a conclusion. And I'm not trying to be negative, but everything I've read and the people I've talked to, just like I'm sure you have, this is going to be it's not going to be a week.
No.
It's going to go. This is what unfortunately happens, and it's really unfortunate, because there's not going to be a lot going on.
Right.
You know, and I just put prayers out there and just hope they can get it done soon. And because I really feel bad for like I just said, all those other people that have family and now they're not going to be working. So
your favorite TV show is not going to have a season 3.
Yeah.
And then plus we've got to put in the fact that here in Los Angeles, it's so expensive to live.
Exactly.
The top guys is getting the money, and it's always like that. Wow, the rich guy, they say, okay, wow. Then they always want to say, well, I ain't got the money. I said, no, don't lie to me. Just tell me you don't want to pay me. Don't tell me you ain't got the money. Because I'll pop you in the mouth. How dare you? Don't talk that stuff to me. You ain't got the money. You know, just say you don't want to pay me the money, you know. Because that's what life is. There's a struggle to say, okay, it's that stare down. You know, you say, okay, well, we ain't going to pay you us the whole lot. I say, okay, I'll walk away from it. And I told the guy coming in, I said, if you can't walk away from a deal, you can't be in the business. You got to be strong enough to say, man, like the cowboy said, take this job and shove it. You know, that's why I tell the people. And sometimes my agent offers, I said, no, man, I said, man, I've been in the business 40 years. You think I'm going to slap me in the face and pay me that? He must think I'm stupid. I didn't just come into business. So I got to explain to him like this here. I said, let me tell you who I am, where I'm coming from. All I ever wanted to do in my life was buy my mother a house and pretty dress. I done that. You know, I never dreamed of being a millionaire. That wasn't my goal. I said I was going to buy my mother a house and pretty dress and be a good little boy. I done that 10 times over. So if Hollywood say, okay, Mr. T, we tired of you, fine. My game, if my life was a game show, I'll be in the super duper bonus round.
Tell him.
If my life was a baseball game, I'll be in the 130th inning. You see what I mean? You know, because they said I wouldn't last, I wouldn't be here. They said it. Where are they now? Who is they?
Well, yeah,
they are faceless, nameless people.
Yes.
They are people who hate. They ain't gonna go nowhere. They don't want to see nobody else go nowhere. That's what it is. You know, they always gonna say you can't do it. Don't try this and that. You know, but I'm here 40 years later. You know, not because of them, because of God. And I know and I thank God for everything. So therefore, that's what keeps me going, you know. And so like I said, I am content and I'm complete. You know, my success is far beyond I ever dreamed of. I understand that. So success to me is that I can feed the less fortunate. I can help somebody. I don't need another diamond ring. I don't need another car. I don't need another house. That's not my game.
Right.
So I'm content with my life structure. You know, I can walk away from it. I said, thank you, Hollywood. I'm fine. Thank you. I'll see you. And go down there and pass out food for the less fortunate. I'm complete.
Facts.
Woo! Another message.
Just a little piece of that.
I don't think I've met
Just want a
anybody
little
more
piece
humble in
of-
my life.
of
I'm serious. I've never met anybody more humble in my life.
The
know, man.
best. The best. Oh man.
You want to keep us going, P, here?
Yes.
I mean, we got to
Yeah,
cool
we gotta
down for
show
a
the
minute
dope.
now with all that.
Oh, so sorry.
Everybody's mind is wandering right now.
So, you got something? I got something for you.
Okay, go for it.
So I want to ask. I want to get back into that, but has anybody ever approached you to learn an accent or something for a role or?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I was when we're doing Rocky. You know, let me tell you about how I got in part in Rocky because people didn't know. See, back in the day, here's who I am. You know, before I became an actor, I used to be a bodyguard.
Right.
I used to protect a lot of
Yeah.
rich people in Chicago. They used to go shopping or whatever, and then the word got out. And then the entertainers would come in town. I would protect them for a week, and people said word of mouth, hey man, you got to get this big guy, Mr.T. He bald-headed, earrings, well, yeah, he protect you and whatnot. And then the white guy would say, hey man, you got to get, because back in the day, I would travel with diamond merchants. You know, with the old fashioned stuff, with the handcuffs strapped to the thing full of diamond. We would go to Miami. We used to go to Philadelphia. We used to go to New York to the jewelry thing. So when this guy wasn't using, he would tell his buddy, "You got to get this big black guy named Mr.T. That's his name. He's good. You know, it wasn't negative. I was a big black guy. You know, and they said he'll protect you. And I did. I didn't say that. I was like our job. I wouldn't say this. How you feel, Mr. T? I wouldn't speak. You know, wasn't that a party? You know. So I did my job and all that stuff.
Right.
So then when I wasn't bodyguarding, I used to work at the disco as a bouncer. So then a doorman. So then NBC had a contest. They had a show called Games People Play. And then they wanted to find out who was the toughest bouncer. Then they approached me. Then I said, I like the concept, but here's the problem. I said, I have a problem with that name bouncer. And let me explain why. See, at our club, we were sort of like 70% black, 30% white. We was mixed, sometimes 60-40. So a lot of people come in. But you know, they have that thing that's okay. Blacks, they call you because they say we always fighting in black clubs. So as they bouncing, they throwing guys out. I said, no, I take offense to that. I said, we wear tuxedos at our club. I said, sure, every once in a while, we got to throw somebody out. They're disrespectful, you know. So I had a rule. I said, you don't disrespect the ladies here. You know, you don't be smoking marijuana in the club and whatever. Don't be doing this here, you know. I'll put you out. So when I put guys out, I said, I'm sure down the street at the white clubs, every once in a while, them so-called, as you call them guys there, you call them doormen. But call us bouncers. Right. But I'm sure every once in a while some white guys get drunk, you have to throw them out. You know? But you calling those guys doormen. But we calling us bouncers. And I told the guy, I said, if you allow me a chance to talk about that, I'll enter the contest. And then they wanted me because I was a name. So they said, okay. And they had the contest in Chicago. Had it in one of the racist clubs. This club was so racist. I remember when Artis Gilmore, the basketball player, came to Chicago. And what they would do to black guys to get into this club, they would ask you for 3 IDs. And all you need is one, just say you're old enough.
Say 3 IDs.
They would ask them, do you have a credit card? Credit card is not an ID.
No, yeah, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
but that's the way you exclude the blacks because they didn't have the credit card. You see what I mean? All you need is the card to say a guy old enough to get in the club. But you were asking for all the other stuff. That is limited. You don't have MasterCard and Emirates. You don't get in. That's the way to keep the blacks out. So anyway, so this club.
Wow, that's
Yeah, so I said it was a racing club. I said, okay, I'll get it. I'm gonna train hard. So I started training, getting ready. So the segment came in. So they had about seven, 8 bouncers come in, you know. Then they had me to interview me, and I told them about the thing that I didn't like the name bouncer. I said, I went to college. To me, it's a literate term. It means that all we just like to do is just put our hands on people, throw people out.
Right.
I said, that's the last thing I want to do is put my hands on somebody. When people come in, I'm at the door. I said, come on in, have a good time. Have a good time. If they don't know the rules, I'm going to explain the rules to them. I said, don't do this here. I said, if you want to go out, I said, brother, if you show me the respect, if you want to smoke weed, you ask me properly, I'll give you an in and out privilege. I don't usually do that, but I'll let you do that. Don't smoke in the bathroom because you disrespecting me.
Right.
You know, I said, this is my job. If you ask me honest, hey man, I want to smoke, then I'll give you, I said, okay, going out, see me, you come back in because you respecting me. Yep. But you disrespect me, you're going to smoke it in the bathroom and say, hey, forget that food and whatever. Right. So now I got to throw you out, you know. Or if I see you trying to snatch somebody's purse while they dancing, I'm going to rough you up and throw you out. You see what I mean? That's it is, you know. So anyway, so training for the company. So make a long story short.
No, great.
So the long story short, anyway, had the contest. I won the contest, and the winner got $10,000. So, but preparing for the contest, I told my pastor at my church, Pastor Henry Hardy, it's Cosmopolitan Community Church on the south side of Chicago. I said, Pastor Hardy, they are having a contest. And when I win this contest, and when I told them when I win, I wasn't speaking egotistically. See, in the Bible, it says, whatsoever a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So it's stupid for me to get in the contest and say, well, I guess I'm going to lose. You know, you don't go in there like that. You say, when I win, I'm training to win.
Speaking into existence.
And then plus God is with me. My cause is just. I said, when I win, Pastor, I'm going to give you the money so you can buy food and clothes for the less fortunate people in the community. Like I tell people, even though the contest was called the toughest bouncer in America, I did not win in humbly. I won 2 years in a row. Then they stopped having it because I winning too much, you know. So I won 2 years in a row, gave the money to my church. And even though the contest was called the toughest bouncer in America, I did not win because I was the roughest, the toughest, or the baddest bouncer. I won because my cause, C-A-U-S-E, my cause was greater than anybody else's cause. One guy said, man, if I win, I'm going to buy me a car. Another guy said, if I win, I'm going to party. I'm going to do that. The cause wasn't great. I said, when I win, I'm going to feed the hungry people in my neighborhood. And I did. I won the first year. $10,000, gave it to my church. I didn't buy a car, could have did it. Won again. I told the guys I want more money. So they $15,000, so I gave it to my church. Both times, gave it to my church. Feed them, help the less fortunate people. And my blessing came back in the form of Rocky 3. Because during the contest on NBC, Sylvester Stallone was at home flicking the channel. Then he saw me. He said, that guy's different and he can talk. So they had the people contact. He called the people at NBC. Who's that guy, Mr.T? What's his number? So then the casting director, she had called down at the disco, and I was off that day. So I came back to work. They said, Mr. T, we got a message for you. It says from Hollywood. It might be a prank call, but we don't know. You know. So they gave me the number. So I called the lady. So she said, so they said, yeah. So she said, wow, do you know Sylvester Stallone? I said, yeah, I watch Rocky 1, Rocky 2. He said, well, yeah, he want to put you in 3. You know, I said, wow, well, that's nice. So anyway, they sent me the script and everything, so I get the script, I'm studying whatnot. So they said, but here's the tricky part. They wanted Clubber Lang to be from New York, and they wanted him to have a Jamaican accent. I said, oh, boy. So what I did, I bought some reggae records. And one night at the club, we had reggae night. We had the brothers come in with the Rastafari talking and stuff. Hey, mama. So I told the guy, I said, look here, man. I said, I'm up for a movie. Could you talk that stuff to me? I got to learn the language and whatever. I bought records. I bought Harry Belafonte records, all the stuff, you know. So then the casting director called me back. She said, how you doing coming? I said, well, I got some records. I'm learning a little bit, you know. So then she told Sylvester Stallone, she said, how's Mr. T coming with the stuff before the audition? She said, well, he said he bought some records. And then he said, you tell Mr. T, scratch the accent. I want Mr. T to be him. I said, I got this.
Got
I
that.
got this now. So that's why they changed the character. If you watch Rocky, it said Clubber Lang, Southside Slugger.
Yeah, right.
I'm not from New York.
Right,
so
right.
Before he met me, he wanted the character from New York. But after he met me, he said,
just
no, they
kept it at
changed
home the way
everything
it should
around.
be, yeah.
Exactly. This
Yeah.
is Mr. T.
Right.
Let Mr. T
Yeah.
be Mr. T.
That's awesome.
Boom. And that's what it was. They said, boom, you be Mr. T. Bang. And that's what it is. Then we came there. Then we came to do the audition. The casting director picked me up at the airport. Then they came and we had the audition at Culver City. And we had 3 parts of the audition. We had to box him, this and that. I'm boxing, bang, bang. Then he was saying in the audition, hit me harder, hit me harder. and I was in a predicament because I said, this guy don't know. I've knocked guys out, So you in the think, should I really hit him? Then he might not give me the part. I said, take that, you feel that? I just hit him enough to know who I am, Take, all right, yeah. So we did that for 3 minutes, 1 round. So now, then we did 10 pages of the script. Then he told me, he said, as we do an audition, he said, I want you to know, we'll keep the 2 or 3 of the best ones. He said, he said, you can look at it. I said, I don't already study. He said, we're going to keep the best one. He said, okay. So we did this. He did some pages. So I did mine. He said, okay, that was good. That was good. He said, now we what we call improvisation. A lot of actors can do it. A lot of them can't. Right. He said, pretend we're in the movie and I won't fight you. He said, you can call me, curse me, and whatever. Call me whatever you want to call me, whatever. I said, okay. Then I waited and I said, okay, I'm ready. He said, then the lady said, action. I said, hey, Balboa, you just like all them other white champions. You get the title, don't want to fight no brother. Matter of fact, I'm tired of this here. I don't need no contract. We can fight right now. Then I grabbed him. He said, oh, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, man, beautiful. Then he said, that was great. He said, now I want you to do one more thing. He said, I want you to look into this camera and tell me why you want this part. And I said, okay. I'm ready. I said, this character, Clubber Lang, it's like hot coals burning inside me. I've been Clubber Lang all my life. He said, stop.
Wow.
Don't do nothing else. Then he said, I want to thank you for coming. I said, I want you to know whether you pick me or not, I'm honored that you considered me. I said, thank you for the opportunity. That was on a Friday in November in 1980. Then I went home back to Chicago. Monday morning, the casting director called me. She said, guess what? You the one, wasn't I? Wow, aren't you excited? I said, I'm excited. I said, you tell Sylvester Stallone, for whatever reason he picked me, I'm going to give him 150% every day. And that's what it is.
So was there a lot of improv and all that?
Yeah. He told me, he said, I want you to be you. He said, scratch the script. He said, because the script got to be you. You said, you see something that don't work for you, change it. He says, so what I mean, like the scene at the steps when he get in the statue.
And you talking about his wife?
Yeah. He said, then I said, truthfully, where you got it, a brother wouldn't say that. I said, well, for me, I wouldn't say that. If I want to make a guy mad as a black guy, we learn do 2 things. You talk about his mama or his wife. I said,
the women.
I said, but I won't degrade. I won't say nothing. I won't call all nothing, excuse me.
Right.
I said, and I won't curse. So that's why I said, hey woman, I bet you stay up in him being Italian, so he's gonna protect this manhood. So when I say, hey woman, I bet you stay up every night dreaming you had a real man. So he said, I said, I know you want a real man. I said, I'll tell you what, bring your pretty little self to my apartment.
Right.
I'll show you a real man. So now he gonna defend that. You don't mess with me. So that would draw him out. So on the same thing, I gotta be smart. And I tell the kids at school, I said, don't let nobody punk you out. Like people say, hey, Mr. T, you ain't nothing. See, my younger days, we be gruppling. But if this guy say I'm nothing, I say, you right, brother. Don't even argue. I done beat him mentally. See, my mother taught me that. She said, son, it's not what they call you, what you respond to. You bigger than that. She said, son, if you get a man to talk about you, you beating him already. Mm-hmm. So here's a guy, I'm walking down the street here, have my success and going. I've been invited to the White House and all other stuff. I got dolls, cartoons, this and that. And the brother on the street gonna say, Mr. T, you ain't nothing. Are you out your mind? And I'ma fall for that? Tell her I ain't nothing? Here I've been partying with Bob Hope, Frank Sinatra, and Sammy, and this guy to say I ain't nothing. But here's the big part of it. Before he said I ain't nothing, he tried to stroke me. He said, hey, Mr. T, you the man. You the baddest brother on TV. Man, you the only reason I watch the A-Team. Give me 5. I said, brother, you better get a job. now, Mr. T ain't nothing. You see what I mean? You ain't nothing. Then like my mother said, consider the source. Here's this guy saying, I ain't nothing, and I'm gonna argue with that saying nothing, and I use that to explain to the kids. I said, when somebody say you ain't nothing, that's a compliment. So actually, but sometimes they say you ain't S-H-I-T. Right. Then I had to explain to some kids in school. I said, let me tell you what they just said, and hear what you fighting for. So if somebody say you ain't S-H-I-T, now you're gonna get mad at them. If you fighting, you proving you is S-H-I-T. Right. Then I said, who wants to be that? I said, he's helping my game. If he's telling me I ain't, who wants to be that? Mm-hmm. That's what dogs leave. I've been telling people for years, I ain't that. I'm a child of God. You see what I mean? See that philosophy, see that knowledge? We missed it. So the man, you ain't nothing, you ain't nothing. Don't even argue with that. It's the waste of time. So anyway, back to the back to Rocky. So then after Rocky, the question was how did I get Rocky about the voice? So that's how I got Rocky.
Yeah,
yes.
you pretty much.
Well, since you just brought, I want to hear about the Rat Pack.
Yes.
You hung out with the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
I want to hear about this.
And let me tell you that we was in Vegas, because Frank, Sammy, whatnot, and they invited me down. They said, man. And then Sammy, wow, then told me the story. And then Frank, and I love Frank Sinatra so much because he helped back in the day with Dr. King and Sammy. Yeah, right. And Sammy was headlining at Caesars. Now, and a couple other things, they didn't want Sammy to stay in the hotel until Frank said, no, Sammy stay in the hotel or he don't even play.
Right.
Wow.
See, Frank Sinatra got a lot of stuff straightened out for the blacks and whatever, So me and Frank talked, he said, wow, he said, I admire you. I said, no, I'm honored. Chairman of the board, then he smiled and whatnot. So he said, man, would you hang back with us? I said, yeah, I'd be glad to hang with you guys, Man, it was something, They said, man, we've been watching you. I said, no, I've been watching you guys since I was little, whatnot. Then Dean Martin, I was on one of his roasts. He roasted me and stuff, whatnot. All the guys do the joke, Howard Cosell or whatnot. And they said, man, how much they looked at me. They've been watching me for years. I said, man, I'm honored. Like I said.
What a crew that is.
And then I'm thinking, I said, man, look at you, T. They said you wouldn't be nothing. Here you been to the White House, you meet the Rat Pack, you meet all these people and whatnot. Man, then I'll tell the people, let me tell you the story about being invited to the White House. What's important about that?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
So I tell people, that old saying goes, many are called, but few are chosen. See, before, a lot of people get an invitation to the White House, but they never make it to the White House because you got to pass a security background check. So when they checked it out, whatever, their mind was blown. So, wow, Mr. T from the hood, no police record, no assault, no this and that. Grew up in the hood. Then I was bringing two of my brothers with me. One of my brothers was a Chicago police officer. Another brother was a Chicago fireman. So then the fire chief and the police chief, they want the city look good. They said, no, we give them time off, let them go to the White House with his brother and whatnot. So then they said, wow, he's coming with his brother. They grew up in their mother. Their father was a preacher and their mother used to scrub floors and no crime. Wow. That's so amazing. Then he said, then people were asking, how did that happen? Because we all loved our mothers. So if we love my mother, and then my big brothers made it easier for me because I want to be like my brothers. My brothers didn't smoke, didn't drink. My brothers wasn't in the game. If my brother was in the game, then I'll be want to be in the game. You see what I mean?
Right,
but my brothers played football and boxing and stuff like that. So before I want to box and whatever, they played football. So that what kept us together. And I knew there was something bigger and better outside the ghetto and stuff, And so and that what kept us together. So anyway, so they do the background check and all of the stuff. But here's how they go before they get invited to the White House. Because when we used to film the A-Team all around Los Angeles and stuff like that, every time we get out, I'm telling the kids, okay, be good, listen to your parents, stay away from the wrong crowd, don't be bad, boom, boom. That's my rap, doing this here, boom, listen to your mother, boom, boom, boom. Listen to the teacher, study hard. So like my mother said, whatever you do, whatever you say, somebody's watching, somebody's noticing. So me just doing what I'm doing because that's who I am, telling the kid, hey man, study hard, listen to the teacher, don't argue, this, that. Just tell them to be good, what worked for me. Then it gets to the White House. The White House hear about it. Nancy Reagan hear about it. Then that's when she wanted to start her Just Say No program. So she told her, she called the president of NBC, Brandon Tartikoff. They said, wow, we want to get Mr. T, to the thing. Then he called Stephen Cannell. Can we have Mr. T in a couple of weeks? Want to fly to the White House, want to meet Nancy, whatnot. Okay, boom. So they said, okay, rearrange my schedule, get all my filming out that morning. So with 18, we was filming in Simi Valley that day. So I told the guys, I said, hey man, tomorrow they flying me to the White House. I mean, man, you ain't going to the White House. So okay. So all of a sudden, helicopter come to Simi Valley. Then I get on the helicopter, fly out to the airport, get on the plane, get to the Washington D.C. I get off the plane. Secret Service guys meet me. They said, follow us, Mr. T. I said, wow, this is like a dream, man. Man, you're gonna meet the president and the first lady. Then we get to the thing. Then the Secret Service guy, he said, how's the flight? I said, it was good. Then they walking with me. I said, man, I'm with the Secret Service stuff you see on TV. I'm with myself. So then, silly me, I'm telling the guy. So he said, foot in the car. Then I said, I got some luggage. The guy said, we already got it. I said, that's right. That's right, this is Secret Service. That's right. Then they put me in the Dolly Madison Hotel. So then I was in the hotel, then I peeked out the door. There were guys sitting out there, the thing protected me because I was going to meet the president. That's what they do. I said, wow. Then I called home. My mother was on the phone. I said, Mother,
that's awesome.
I said, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to meet the president and the first lady. Then she said, just like a mother, you be on your best behavior.
That's awesome.
I said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And they got there, whatnot. Then I'll tell you this, the God's truth. Get there, it was just unbelievable. People get to run around. I met George Bush first. He said, wow, it's an honor to meet you. I said, no, sir, it's an honor to meet you, whatnot. Then everything was timed. Then I met Nancy with the ambassador kids. They had dressed me up like this Santa Claus. You could see the picture on the She dressed me up like Santa Claus at the thing. And I said, wow. Then she said, wow, Miss T, I'm so... I said, no, Nancy, I just like a dream to be here. And like I tell people, not only was I not a Republican, I wasn't even a Democrat. I'm a Christian. So it wasn't about who or whatever, But she said, I wonder, would you like to be a part? I want to start a Just Say No program. We heard what you do. We think that's so terrific. And she said, also, wow, your mother must be some kind of lady. I said, yes, we love her. Because she was looking at my brothers, they was big over there, whatnot. I said, yeah, I'm the baby in the family. I said, they look after me and whatnot. I said, wow, it was just, so then we met Nancy. Then when you meet the president, everything is time. So now we meet the president afternoon. Everything is time to the T. They said, okay, this and that, line up, wait, stop. Yeah. Then we walk, stop. The guy looked. Then we walk again, stop. It's okay now. They open the door, like, I'm going to push me in. Okay, miss, go in. And there I am, because I was telling people, man, you wait till I meet the president. Boy, I'm going to tell them the thing. Man, there I am, me and the president, Ronald Reagan. Wow. I said, sir, I'm just honored you took the time to meet me. I said, I know you're so busy, because you think about it. This the president who say, okay, this going to be war against this, going to decide this. God. And they got time to meet little old kid from the hood who they said wouldn't be nothing. Welfare kid. People laughed at, had Mitch Mike socks and whatnot. Hear my mother knock on a neighbor's door to borrow a quarter so I can go to school, high school and whatnot. All of this, I paid off. Wow, here I am with the President of the United States. Wow. Telling me he's proud of me. I said, thank you, sir. I'll do my best to never let you down. That was it. Nothing else to say. I said, thank you for taking time to meet me. He went on out and whatnot. He said, you have fun while you're here? I said, yes, sir.
Wow. That's the best way to describe that.
But the whole message telling the kids, telling the kids that I wouldn't have been there if I had a record.
Right.
If I got arrested for stealing, robbing, and stuff like that, assault and battery. But when they checked me out, they was amazed. They said, no, you born and raised in the ghetto and no arrest warrant, no this here. Love our mother. How's that possible? Love our mother. They said, we got to meet this guy. Then after that, I got invited to the White House 6 more times to be with the president. They said, Mr.T, come here. We gonna meet some people, come, whatnot. Would you come? They fly me in and whatnot.
Is that a record right now?
I don't know. You know,
I
that's a
mean,
lot.
I ain't
That's a
heard
lot.
nobody be
No,
back
no.
that many times.
It was just amazing.
Man, I want to say thank you again
Thank
for
you.
joining us, man, and these stories right here.
And I think we're gonna have to bring him back again too, because this is gonna
With
go.
their
We could go on
No,
for
we're
like a
gonna
week.
go on
and
for a
then
while.
yeah,
I didn't
bless
yeah,
that.
this
I'm
is
just
unbelievable.
thanking him now. I'm not ending anything.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he's unbelievable.
No, I'll be back like Arnold said.
Hey,
'cause
right.
I heard
I'm
that.
having fun. You said you want to have fun. I want to have fun.
Yeah.
Because there's so much
I
of
got
me.
one.
Because there's so much of me. One time is not enough because people going to be so, they say, I can't believe it. And they can't because there's so much of me. And then a lot of people from the day, they'll hear the truth. They
Yeah.
might read something, hear something on the internet which ain't the truth. They need
Exactly.
to hear the
Right.
truth,
The
who I
facts.
really am. They need to know where all this come from. This is the start and whatnot. That I love my mother. I wouldn't let nothing take me against that. That's my message to the kids. Don't let nobody trick you, con you, make a fool out of you to go against the love of your mother.
Right. It's a good message, man.
Facts right there.
What you got,
Super
P?
facts. Oh man. So we talked about the A team a little bit and stuff, and you know, I guess imitation is the biggest flattery. How did you truly feel about Quentin Rampage Jackson acting out your character with the second coming of
No, you know, that didn't bother me because they had wanted me to be in the thing afterward. Then I told them, I said, you don't insult me. You know, I said, if I'm not B.A. Baracus, I'm not nothing. I'm known for two things, Clubber Lane and B.A. Baracus. So they wanted me to do a cameo in something I made. Yep. I said, you must be a fool. You couldn't pay me enough money. And I told them. That's why you saw, like I said, and then which I felt bad for Face Man and Murdoch because they got punked out. They allowed themselves, you know, to be in the movie and whatnot. You know, then after they did it, they wish they didn't. You know, I said no, I don't take seconds. You know, which I made this character. Now you want me to come in and play second fiddle to that? I mean, I wasn't mad at Rampage. You know, you're supposed to do the job or whatnot. But I let the producers know. I said, no, you couldn't pay me enough money to be in it. You know, so that was my thing with it. And I had no problem with that, you know. And so, no, I wasn't jealous. Oh, I'm mad at him, this and that. No, I wasn't mad. Because like I said, like in between us, like I said, he got big shoes to follow. You know,
Exactly.
he's
Damn right.
trying to be first because when they was filming it, people was got to film part up in Canada and whatever. And every day they're filming, people, my fans would holler, "Hey fool, you ain't no Mr.T."
He ain't.
Far from it.
You know, and that's what it was. Like I said, no, I don't get mad at it. I don't get mad when people trying to be like me and all that stuff or whatnot, you know. And so, you know, like I tell people, I set the pace in the race, and I did, you know. And so, you know, I smiled at stuff and stuff like that, and you know, I'm not mad at nothing, you know.
That's right.
What you got for us, Joe?
So, on your path, are you still goal driven? Are you still working in the business now, or?
Well, I accept job. I get a chance to pick and choose. Then if I do stuff,
Right.
come here, I say, no, I'll pass on that. And like my mother told me, said, son, there's some things that money can't buy. There's a lot of things money can't buy. Because like I said, truthfully, all I ever wanted to do was done. And I tell people when they bring certain money, I say, I don't want that. I said, all I ever wanted to do was done. I said, I don't mean to sound cocky or conceited,
Right.
but all I ever wanted to do was buy my mother a house and pretty dresses. I did that back in the 80s.
Right.
I'm complete.
10 times
I am complete. So all I want to do now is, like I said, sit at home, watch 18 reruns, watch Rocky 3 and whatnot, sit back and just say, thank you, Jesus. You know, thank God for blessing me. Use my time to try to be an inspiration to others. Go down to the homeless shelter to help people, to hug them and whatnot. And one of my biggest joy, I mean, one time when I left there, I was crying, you know, because I had wrote a check, then I was leaving, and the lady was down there. She said, Mr.T, we just want to thank you for coming. I said, you're welcome. She said, now, she got the other people that was homeless. And she said, let's pray for Mr.T. So they put me in a circle, and they put their hand out. They started praying, and I started crying. Tough Mr.T, I'm crying. They said, Mr.T, we love you. You didn't forget it. I said, I will never forget you. And I got in my car, and I started driving home here, and I called my mother. About 10 years ago, I said, Mother, today I got emotional. I started crying. And she said, son, that don't make you a punk or a wimp because you cried. Jesus cried. She said, son, this is your mission.
Yeah.
I said, wow, it is. So I constantly go down there quietly, give stuff because she told me don't grandstand. So I get stuff and whatnot. You know, I write checks quietly, take food down there quietly, give to the people. You know, I'm not gonna be, hey y'all, this is me. Oh, look at me, TMZ. I'm giving to the people.
Yeah.
If she said, son, if nobody else knows, God knows, and that's what it is. I go down there, then I just drive home. That's what it's supposed to be. You know, and that's who I am. You know.
What you got for us, Lance?
So many gems. You know, they call me Left Field Lance on this show, and I'm going to throw something out, right? Because I really want to know about this.
Okay.
So, like, you know, you touched a little bit on it in your, you know, door days where you were watching the door. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think about the comparison of the laws of marijuana then to now, where it's like freely open, everybody's smoking, and it's like, you know, kind of turned and morphed into this. You know, there's a actually fun stat. More Americans bought marijuana than chocolate this year. Well, last year.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion on that stance?
Well, only thing bad about it, like I said, a lot of people drive and they hide and whatever. A lot of kids, and see, it was like a long time ago. Really, it was more the older people that was doing it, even though it was legal, whatnot. The older people, now just kids in grammar school and all that stuff. And man, it's just you know, there's no structure. We have no more values, you know, and we just hate to use the pun. We go in the pot, you know, and so it's just like, you know, people drinking and driving and everything, you know, there's no, okay, man, there's a time and place for everything, but nobody cares no more. There's no more structure. Yeah. Everything is cool. Look at me, it's cool. Nah, it's cool. No, it's more than, that's, like I said, choices has consequences. And nobody want to think about the consequence. It look cool for a moment. It all look cool for a moment. For a moment. Then what? You know, like the Bible says, sin is pleasure for a season. And sometimes it's a short season. Just like the athlete said, man, he's done for the season. His leg is there. He's done for the season. His career's over there for a season. Short, like I tell people, short-term pleasure, long-term pain. You know, it's just a young kid, like I said, it's just no structure. There's no rules. There's no order. And that's the bad thing about it. You know, a long time ago, it's okay, wait till you get old enough to do this here. Nah, everybody do it. It's cool. It's happy. It's fun. Right. But then there's consequences behind it, you know. There's somebody, okay, wow, I'm impaired. I'm driving. I'm looking cool. Then you have a wreck. You hit somebody innocent. Then it ain't cute no more.
Well, I think that goes back to me. You've been talking about your mother so much, which I respect, because I talk to my mother every day still. And that's my mom.
Right,
like we're 100. Everybody in this room is on 100% on that. Right. And I think there you talk about consequences. I don't think the mothers have relationships with their kids to talk about their consequences anymore.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has a lot to do with that. Even with your father too, or whatever, your parents. Period. I think there's no. It's so, you know, I know a lot of people that work in education, and the parents are gone.
Right, that's what it is.
Because they're too busy. They got everything going on, you know, and I think that's where it all starts at. So
it's funny because my mom texted me right now during the episode, like, what SBs do you want? I'm like, okay, we'll get to that another time.
Right.
But this generation is just turned into, you know, it's kind of just, you know, it's social media or bust, and everybody wants the quick road, right? Yeah. They don't want to take the time and put the work in like your generation did, and such an iconic, and like Preston said, more than legendary. I remember my dad, uncles, family members, cousins, they would all talk about Mr. T. And, you know, you've been such an inspiration on my life, man. I really appreciate you rocking with us.
No, thank you, man. Thank you.
I mean, you've been an inspiration to me. When I met you the first couple times, I was just like, every time. And the thing about, like I told you earlier downstairs, I have not heard one person say one negative thing about you. And you're such a humble, just great individual, man. It's unbelievable.
And I want to say, I work hard to be a good person, you know. Right. And I'm honored when people, like sometimes I'm going to be walking in the store and I held a door for a lady. She said, "Ooh, Mr. T, you're so nice." and I smile. I said, "Of course I am." I said, "I'm a mama's boy," you know. And then it's all right because they get me mixed up with my character, you know. Yeah. Like I tell people, even my BA or whatnot, I was a tough guy, but I was a good guy.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't a bad guy. I had morals, you know, like I said, like on the A-team, I didn't like foolishness. You know, I did my job and don't act a fool, you know. But like I say, when people see me, I say, no, when I do something, I always let people know. I say, I'm an old-fashioned mama's boy. I let people know when I'm trying to send a message out to young kids that you can be a mama, but I'm not the wimpy, like,
No.
I'm not that type of mama boy.
Right.
I'm a mama boy because I listen to my mother. I love my mother. You know, I said, no, my mother wouldn't want me to do that. Like I tell the kids sometimes, I said, I'm old enough, big enough, rich enough to do certain things, but I don't.
Right.
Because my mother wouldn't want me to do that. You know, I wouldn't want to break my mother heart. My mother told me to do the right thing.
Right.
You know, and that's what
Everybody watching this, if you're not inspired by this, go check yourself about 15 times, please.
Right. Or Mr. T will be there to wreck you.
Yeah.
For reals.
But it's what you got, man. I know you got another question.
Yeah, definitely. Because, you know, you've been,
No,
you
keep
got
it
your
coming.
own.
Yeah.
You had your own cereal, you know, iconic toy, cartoon, whatnot and stuff. Can you elaborate on this new venture you got going with the Skechers?
Oh, man, wow. I was wondering when you're going to get around to that.
What a big brand. Wow.
And back again, how things go. And like I tell people, I get so much because I give so much. And I tell people, I don't be knowing that these companies, they find me. Like, it go all the way back to Rocky. Like my mother told me a long time ago, she said, son, if you're good, they'll find you. I didn't have an agent. You know, there's an old saying that goes, if a man build a better mousetrap than his neighbor, even if he live in the woods, the world will make a beaten path to his door. So even I'm on the south side of Chicago, they found me. They said, wow, they saw me on the thing. When you do good, all right, like here, I'm filming all around Los Angeles, then telling the kids, be good, listen to your mother, this and that. The White House hear about me. They invite me to the White House, Nancy Reagan, to ask me to help her with a Just Say No program. You know, if you're good, they'll find you. They'll find you. So, and I tell people, every job I get is because I did a good job on the previous job.
Right.
Because I was on time. Like you say, I'm always say nobody can say nothing bad about it, but they can't say, how's Mr. T to work with? Hey man, he's on time. He's gonna lift the room. He's gonna motivate everybody. He's not gonna steal. He's not gonna be slacked off or whatever. So when I work, like when I did the Skechers commercial, I told a young guy, the director, I said, let me put him to the side for a minute. I said, let me tell you how I roll. I said, you in charge here. I said, you tell me to do it again and again, we're gonna keep on doing it. I don't want you to think that I got an attitude that you got to be delicate with me. You're worried about, Mr. T, how do I tell him, let's try it again a little louder, this and that. I said, whatever you want, brother. If it's not loud enough, you tell me the angle we're doing it. I'm going to keep doing it if you take it 18 times and make him laugh. I said, most of the time I get it on the 13th time. But the 14th, I said, but I want you to know you the man.
Right.
I'm not going to say, hey, walk off the set. I don't want, the temper thing, the ego thing. I said, it's not like that. I said, you tell, however time you want it, another angle, this and that, you're going to get it. You tell me what you want, and I'm going to bring it. That's what I'm here for. So that breaks the ice. Let them know that there's no friction at the beginning, that I'm going to work hard. So anyway, back to, and speaking of that, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Robert Greenberg and his son, Michael Greenberg of Skechers, and tell them, thank them because they believed in me. Like the father, I had Zoomed him, we had talked. He said, Mr. T, I had liked you before, watched you before. I'm happy to have you a part of the family. I said, sir, I'm going to work hard for you, and I'm going to do my very best, never let you or your company down. Because you believed in me. You saw me do this other stuff, so he said, wow, okay, maybe you can bring that same magic to Skechers. So my agent told me about it. I said, Skechers. I said, okay, bring me some shoes. Let me try them on, because I ain't gonna be promoting no shoes I ain't tried on. Right? I gotta make sure. So they sent me the shoes, and I ain't saying this just try to make the sale. So every day you have a different pair. But like I said, every day got a different pair. Yeah, but here's the deal. They so soft. When I put them, it's unbelievable. And then besides that, let me cut another thing. And also when I had told them another part of the deal, like I said, like when I did the Quaker Oats Mr. T thing, I gave food to the people and stuff like that. And I had a deal with Hanes Socks many years ago. I said, I need 10,000 pair of socks to give to the homeless. So then I talked to Mr. Greenberg, I said, could you give me at my church, Southside Chicago, we adopted a school next door to us. So they said, we'll send you 200 or 300 pairs.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so good to hear.
For the less fortunate kids, and that's what we're doing. So I'll be going home in a couple of weeks before the school let out. We can get them all the kids, they sizes, girls and whatever, because I know what it is to go to school and other kids laugh at you, But now they're gonna be the proud kids because they're gonna get new shoes, and that helps them learn.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about somebody making fun of them and stuff like that. So that's what another position I'm in, not just. It's a good company, what we're doing good in the neighborhood. And that's what I like about it, So I'm just enjoying it. I just thank God that I'm in position to do this here, that I can, be the spokesman, one of the spokesperson for Skechers. Because they got other people. They got Snoop Dogg. They got what's the guy? Tony Roma, Howie Long, and other people and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And, and so when they pick me, I say I'm honored to be a part of it. So I'm just part of it. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do my part. And I told them I will never bring disrespect or dishonor to the company, And so, like I said, so that's what it's all about. Like I said, back again, I tell people, every job I get because I did a good job on the previous job, And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just representing the company. They believe in me, So I like the shoes. I like everything about, So it give me an opportunity to do some good, to get some shoes to the less fortunate, stuff like that. Like when I was down at the mission for Easter, they asked me to lead in the prayer, so I say the prayer. Then I gave some of the shoes to some people there, and so that's who I am, and that makes me feel good. And I come home at night, then I pray and I cry. I say, "Thank you, Lord, for blessing me, so I could be a blessing to others." That's who I am. So, like I said, after you get past all the "Hey, Mr.T, pity you fool," I did that. Underneath all of that, I'm just a little humble kid from the ghetto who loved his mother, who had big dream, who said, "Mama." That's who I am. Like I said, go back when I was 9 years old, and people need to know about this here. When I was 9 years old on welfare, food stamp and all that, I came home from school, I drew a picture, showed it to my mother. I said, "Mama, there you is right there in the rocking chair. That daddy is right there." I said, "Mama, one of these days I'm gonna be big and strong. I'm gonna be a football player and a boxer. I'm gonna buy you a beautiful house, Mama. I'm gonna buy you pretty dresses." And my mother, I was up to her hips, and she hugged me and said, "Son, if that's the Lord's willing." Then she started crying because my mother used to scrub. She used to go out to the suburbs of Chicago and get on her hands and knees and scrub white people floors. I'm not saying it's racist. I'm saying what she had to go through. She was not allowed to go in the front door. She had to go around the back door. And then she get on her hands and knees and scrub. So now we got mops and the pretty stuff. They used to call them scrub women. That's what they were. And her legs be hurting, varicose veins broken out and whatnot. And she be hurting. She was coming in. So I said, "Mama, I'm gonna take care of you." And she started crying and said, "If that's the Lord's willing." And that's what kept me away from the bad crowd when kids did wrong. I said, "No, I ain't gonna disappoint my mother. My mother loved me." My mother didn't scrub floors so I can be a thug. She didn't scrub floors so I can wear my pants down. She didn't scrub floors so I can break in somebody's house. She said, "Son, if you want something, you work hard, save your money and get it." And that's what I did. And that's all I want to do. Like I said, forget about all the gold, don't get sidetracked or that, whatever. All I ever wanted to do in my life was to be a good son to my mother. That's all. And I tell people, if I made millions of dollars and got it ill-gotten gains, my mother wouldn't want no part of that. She said, "I don't want to be in this house." She wanted to be in the house because she know I worked hard for it. I said, "Mother, this the mansion. They got you the mansion." My mother just started crying. I said, "No, Mother, it's for everybody now. Everybody can enjoy it now." And she just cried. I said, "It's for you, Mother. It's for you."
Wow.
That's who I am.
Wow. That's straight up right
You
there.
hear the sound effect.
I don't even think we need any more inspiration. That was it.
Oh.
That was everything.
Well, we do motivation on the episode every week, but I don't
think we do.
We need
This
to even
entire
touch that.
episode was motivation.
I do need to do a shout out real quick.
Okay, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to hold this together right now because I'm already getting choked up about it. For people that know, May is ALS Awareness Month, and I have a dear friend of mine. He loves the podcast. He watches it constantly. We talk constantly. I talked to you two about it. Carlos Gonzalez from Salinas, California, someone I grew up with, has ALS. I want everybody to reach out to him on the Instagram, FSU for Los. And this man, kind of like T, I never heard anybody say anything bad about him. He's a great family man, a great father, a great friend, and he is Raider Nation too. I got to put that one out there. Also in June, the 2nd of June is MLB. Everybody's going to be playing. It's going to be ALS Day. For that, he will be at the Giants game. So if you guys can give a shout out to him and support him, and let's get this research going, and one day we will beat this disease. And Carlos, I love you, buddy. I just want to go ahead and shout that out to you, man.
Much love to you, brother.
Man. Love you, man.
We are here for you, compadre.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
God is able. God is able.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Good job, man. That was really cool. You want to?
That was beautiful, Joe.
You want to do the honors for us, Big P?
All right, compadres. I'm sorry, but man, that episode was a lot.
I
so
know.
let me go ahead and pull that back
So
together.
fast.
Thank you. And like he said, he will be back.
Yes.
So we will
Part
be
two.
doing
Back.
more,
Part
story
two.
time
So
with
much
Mr. T.
more.
Shit, we might need a part 5.
Yeah, we keep coming. We keep coming.
Y'all heard that? Reoccurring.
Why not? It's just like the
Y'all
Rocky
heard
movie.
that?
Another one.
Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it.
Let me say this really quick. My neighbor, I told him you were coming on today, and he's like, ask him. He's like, hey man, ask Mr. T if he's ready, if he would do a Rocky 10. I ain't gonna ask him that. Here I am.
No.
Shout out to you, Antonio.
Well, one thing for sure, Rocky do owe me a rematch.
Yes, he does.
You ain't gonna pull that punch.
Exactly.
You ain't gonna pull that punch.
I took a dive then because I needed the money. I'm a millionaire now, so ain't gonna be no punches pulled. I'm on that, brother. You want some more? Exactly.
I love it.
Mr.
I
T,
love it.
let the ladies and gentlemen, compadres at home know where to find you, your social medias if you have those, all that.
Well, now all I gotta do, I do a Twitter thing, and I put out scriptures. I talk about God, and stuff like that. That's who I am. Actually, my son do it because I'm old school. I tell him, and he put it there. Then I tell him, I said, son, when we putting out there, we're not trying to get followers.
Right.
Because many are called, few are chosen. My message is not for everybody. Every time I speak, I tell people, I said, what I'm going to tell you is not for everybody. And it's not. Because other people don't want to hear it. Like when I was younger, growing up, I asked my mother, mother, why everybody won't be saved? She said, because everybody don't want to be saved. So it's not for them.
Right.
So like I said, but the ones who want it, like Jesus said, my sheep, they know my voice.
Right.
So the ones who get it, they will. And the ones who won't, And so it's not. So like I said, my job, like I said, like a farmer, is to plant it. God send the rain, the water.
Wow, what a great
the wind,
analogy.
and whatever, So my job is to put it out there. If they want it, it's there. It's not fine. I'm not thinking, I want more people follow me. This, that. I don't need a lot of people, Don't need a lot of
Turn on your TV, you'll see him immediately. And
Got that Skechers commercial hitting them airwaves.
Seen that, I was like, well,
Seriously, man.
wow, man.
Compadres, we're at the point to where you know what to do. Follow at COMPODRES. And to my right, Ilson himself.
I am _Ilson.
Also to my right, Joe Rosati himself.
You know where I'm at, the real Joe Rosati.
That's right.
That's right.
I am SB Press. And like that, compadres, Mr. T's here.
Bless y'all.
And we gone.
All the wins. Yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits. Yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah.